Hi, this is Miss Wood, and I want to talk to you about Hatchet by Gary Paulson. Imagine being 13 years old and being in the wilderness alone, the Canadian wilderness, with nothing but a hatchet to survive. Brian was left with just this choice. His only choice in this story is to survive or die trying. Read Hatchet to find out what happens to Brian in this amazing story about survival. Brian is a 13-year-old boy from New York. He is just like every other normal 13-year-old boy until he found out the secret. His parents got a divorce, but he knew why. He saw everything unfold before his very eyes. Our story starts with him boarding a plane in Hampton, New York, going to see his father in Canada. Whenever he boarded this plane, he was very mad at his mom because of the secret. On the plane, it's just Brian and the pilot. The pilot's a nice guy. He tries to make conversation with Brian. The hesitant Brian finally gives in, and the pilot even shows him how to fly the plane. The pilot had a heart attack while they were in the air. Panicking, Brian has to figure out how to land the plane, but that doesn't happen so easily. Brian eventually lands the plane, but he crashes it into a lake. Brian makes it out of the plane alive, but the pilot was not so lucky. Brian lays low for a couple of days, but realizes he has to figure out how to survive. Realizing he has nothing but the hatchet on his belt that his mom gave him, he finds ways to get the basic necessities. He builds a shelter, makes a fire, gathers berries, but he even has an encounter with wild bears. Luckily, the bear was not interested in Brian, but these were things he was not prepared for. A city boy in the wild was a new way of life for Brian. Throughout all of these challenges, Brian realizes he has to find a way out of the wilderness. He remembers there is an emergency pack in the plane. Luckily, after a tornado, he can see the plane sticking up out of the water, and he built a raft to find if he could find the emergency pack. Pick up your copy of Hatchet to see whether or not Brian makes it out of the Canadian wilderness. Will he be rescued, or will he find a way out himself?